In the first question, we are asked to simplify the following algebraic expression. So we are going to write it in this form. We are going to say 1 plus 2 divided by 3, and then I'm going to represent the division line with divided by 2 over 3 minus 1 over 4. So what I did here is I separated the numerator and the denominator, and I'm going to simplify them individually. I know that when I add or subtract fraction, I need to make the denominators common. So in this first bracket, which is the numerator, we can see that our LCD should be 3. So I must multiply this guy by 3, both top and bottom. And that is going to give us 3 over 3 plus 2 over 3 divided by. And then on this side, we can see that our LCD should be 12 because 3 and 4 can both go into 12. So the lowest common denominator is 12. So here I'm going to multiply by by 4 and 4, both top and bottom. So 2 times 4, it's 8. And then 3 times 4 would be 12. Minus, this side I must multiply the bottom by 3 so that I also have 12, which means I must also multiply the 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 will be 3 all over 12 because 3 by 4 is 12. And then we're going to now have 5 over 3 because 2 plus 3 is 5, and then we put it over the same denominator divided by 5 over 12. All right, and then we are now going to use the KFC method: keep, flip, change. So we keep the first bracket, we flip the division to multiply, we switch the numerator and the denominator, and we can see that this guy will cancel with that guy, which will leave us with 12 over 3, which makes the answer to be 4. And let's go to our options and check which one we're going to take. I'm sure, ladies and gents, we can see that our solution is on A. All right, awesome. Now let's go to, I'm going to erase this. We're going to now tackle question 2. All right, so on question 2, we are given the following sequence and we are asked to find the value of R. Okay, let's do that. So we have 8, 5, 3, 2, 1, 1, and then you have 0, you have -1, and then we're going to have let's see, gonna have 2, gonna have Q, then R, and we are asked to find the value of R. I need us to observe something, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so there's a pattern here that you need to see. All right, and I'm going to show you now how it works. Alrighty, so observe that 8 minus 5 gives you 3. 5 minus 3 gives you 2. Do you see it? So basically what I'm saying here is this minus that gives you that. This minus that gives you that. This minus that gives you that. That minus that gives you that. That minus that gives you, oh, I skipped something here, ne? there must be a 1 here, because 0 minus negative 1 is going to be 1, which is this part here. I had skipped it, that part. All right, and then which means 1 minus 2 must be giving me q, right? Which means q will be equals to minus 1. And then which means let's see. No, this is minus 1. So basically minus 1 minus 2 will give us q. Okay, so which means q will be minus 3. Sorry about that. And then which means 2 minus q, which is minus 3, must give us r. Therefore r must be equals to 5, which is indeed option D. All right, and we're fine with that. We're gonna go to number 3 now. On number 3, we are asked to evaluate the following expression, and we can see that these things looks scary, right? So but we're going to make it look very simple. We always let k to be the smallest exponent. So the smallest one is 2 to the power 999, because when you compare this, that, and that, you always make the one which is smaller to be k. Now we're going to rewrite all the terms in terms of k. We know that 2 to the power 1001 can be written as 2 to the power 2 dot 2 to the power 999. When you add the exponents, you still get that. But we need to represent this in terms of that, which is there plus there. Awesome. And then this basically gives us 2 to the power 4. 2 to the power 2 is 4, and then 2 to the power 999 is k. All right, and then we have the second term, which is 2 to the power 1000. This is going to be 2 to the power 1 multiplied by 2 to the power 999, which is equals to 2 to the power 1 is 2, and then the other part is k. Then we have 2.2999, which will just be 2k as well. Now we're going to substitute back. You can see that the first term is 4k. The first term is 4k minus the second term. I put a minus because there's a minus there. The second term is 2k. And then the third term is also 2k, but then we're also minusing. So 4k minus 2k is 0. So which means the answer to this is 0. Let's see what is option 0. That is number 3. Now we're going to do D, which is question 4. Let's check on question 4. We are given s minus 2 equals to 1 over p plus 1 over r all over t. All right, and we are asked to do what? Let's see what are they saying here. They say find an expression for r. So we are asked to solve for r. What does that mean? That means we need to end up with r equals to something, right? So r must be by itself on one side of the equation. So we need to isolate any part that has an r. So we're going to isolate this part. So which means we have to move 1 over p to the other side. So we're going to have s minus 2 over t minus 1 over p, which is 1 over r. Right? Then now let's simplify this. Remember, when we subtract fractions, we need to make sure that we have the common denominator. And we can see that the lowest common denominator will be t times p. Right? Perfect. So now to have tp on both sides, I must indeed multiply this by p and that by t. Whatever I multiply with at the top, I must multiply on the bottom, and vice versa, right? So here I must multiply by p, there I must multiply it by t, because I multiplied by t at the bottom, I must multiply by t on top. Because I multiplied by p at the bottom, I must multiply by p on top. And then we can see that that is going to indeed give us how much? It's going to give us, let me just check something. Okay, yes. That is going to give us sp minus 2p minus t all over tp, which is 1 over r, right? But I'm not solving for 1 over r, I'm solving for r. So I'm going to invert this side, which is the numerator becomes the denominator and the denominator becomes the numerator. So I'm going to have r over 1, which I did not show. Whatever I do on the left, I must do on the right. So this side, we're also going to flip tp over sp minus 2p minus t. And that should be option A. You see, that is equivalent to option A. So we agree that our option A is going to be that. Ready? And then now let's do the last part of this questions. All right. So on question 5, we are asked to find the value of this guy. Right? Let me use the red color of this guy. Okay. We want to find x, square root of x all to the power 6. Ne? I am firstly going to simplify this. Remember, square root of x is basically x to the power of half. Because there's a hidden 2 here, there's a 1 there. Right? Then times 6 outside, which is x to the power 3, because this multiplied by that give us 3. So we are basically looking for the value of x to the power 3. And they gave us that x is basically 4 multiplied by cube root of 25. So I can sub it in here, right? Because that is my x. It's going to be 4 dot cube root of 25 all to the power of 3. And then you can use this fact that we can multiply each term inside by the outside exponent. So this I'm going to multiply by 3. So it's going to be 1 multiplied by 3, which is 3. Then we have, you need to remember that a cube root of 25 is basically 25 to the power 1 over 3, and we need to multiply that by 3. You see? Good. And then this will give us 64. This will give us 25, because the exponents will neutralize each other to 1. Now, what is 64 times 25? We're going to just break down that in simple terms. We can break the 64 into 60 plus 4, multiply by 20 plus 5, breaking the 25. Then when we FOIL, 60 times 20 is 1,200. 60 times 5 is 300. 60 times 4, 4 times 20, it's 80. Plus 4 times 5, which is 20. Then we can see that 20 plus 80 is 100. 400, 1,600. Which is our final answer, which is going to be which option? That is option C. You can see, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on looking for more.